Hello?
Hi, my name is Tom. This is the Enthusiasm Project, and today we're going to talk all about how to take phone calls on the Rodecaster Pro.
Never call me again.
Let's talk all about how to take phone calls with the Rodecaster Pro, because as you may or may not know, that's one of the coolest features about this unit, and I've gotten so many questions from people about how that works, how to get the best audio quality, and how to effectively incorporate phone calls into your podcast or your live stream. Now, there are two ways to bring in phone calls to the Rodecaster Pro. You can use either the wired TRRS channel, or you can connect your phone or your computer via Bluetooth and bring in a phone call that way. We'll compare both of those today so you can see the difference in audio quality, and we'll also run through some options to give you better than phone call quality in your show. So how do you connect your phone via Bluetooth? It's a pretty simple process. Actually, there's this giant blue button right here. If I press that, it will say the Rodecaster Pro is now discoverable. Tap Rodecaster Pro in your device Bluetooth settings. So then all I need to do on my phone is hop over into Bluetooth settings and the Rodecaster Pro shows up. If I tap on it, it will connect automatically. There are no passwords or anything. For some reason, it's Tomas's iPhone, even though my phone is just Tom's iPhone, but whatever. Now my phone is connected via Bluetooth to the Rodecaster Pro. So that's connected. The Rodecaster will basically just play any audio that's coming from the phone through the Bluetooth channel. So I'm gonna switch over to the Rodecaster Pro's audio right now, so that's what you're listening to me on, and we will blast some of my favorite royalty-free jams right now. There we go. What you'll notice is this audio quality is actually really good. It sounds the same as if it were plugged in. Sounds as if I added this in post-production, but I didn't. I can just turn it down right there. So the Bluetooth channel can work really, really well for music and other audio. But what about phone calls, obviously? So if I call myself, there we go. Hello. Okay. Hello? How are you? Wait, what's happening here? Hello? Wait, let's see. Hello?
Hello?
Actually,
this
is way too hard to do by myself. Let me actually... Okay, so we're going to wait for a phone call. So I asked Heather now to call me. There's my beautiful ringtone. I'm going to accept it. Audio to the Rodecaster. Hello?
Hi, can I speak to my husband, please?
That's me. I am speaking. May I speak to my lovely wife, please?
Hello, that's me.
How does this sound on your end?
Clear.
It does. Does it sound like you're listening to a podcast right now?
No, it sounds like you're on the phone.
Oh, it just sounds like a normal phone call?
Yeah.
But it's a clear phone call, right?
Like a podcast?
Well, I'm talking through the podcast, Mike. If I play a sound effect, can you hear that?
Yeah.
Okay, was it annoying or loud or anything?
No.
Just as annoying as usual? Okay, so this for you just sounds like a normal phone call, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then for me, there's like a slight delay of like half a second because I can hear you on the other side of this wall talking, and then I hear the thing come through the phone.
I had to cover my other ear because I was getting confused with the delay.
Right, but if we weren't in the same place, and like if you were just calling into a show, this would work, right? Like we could talk?
Yeah. Perfect.
Okay. Cool. Well, thanks so much. I'll see you at home in about a minute.
Okay, bye.
Bye. So that worked pretty well. For our end, it was like we were just having a normal phone conversation. There was that slight delay, which you would never really notice if you're not actually able to hear the person on the phone. What I will say, though, is that as soon as Heather called the phone here, it automatically went to the iPhone speaker, and so I did have to tap on audio and select the Rodecaster Pro before the signal was sent to the Rodecaster Pro. But that's actually kind of a good thing, because if you want to screen calls before incorporating them into your show, like imagine you're doing a live show and you have a couple of hosts talking here on these channels, and you're over here as like the producer, and somebody calls in and you don't want them to just, as soon as they call in, now they're part of the show. You can just talk to them on the phone, explain what's happening, and then when they're ready, you can tap Rodecaster, and now they will be ready to go on this channel right here. So there is no real easy mix minus feature that's going to let you talk to them on here without being part of the show over here. At least that I could find out. That's not super clunky, but that's an easy way to do it. Just talk on the phone like normal, switch over to Rodecaster when you're ready to go, and it basically just solves that problem. But now let's try it the other way. Let's flip over. Can I call you again? So instead of using Bluetooth, I'm going to take Bluetooth off. I'm actually going to even unpair my phone so it's very clear that we are not using Bluetooth at all. And we're going to go into the TRRS channel. Just so you know, I am using the official Rode TRRS cable, which has 3 rings. And the reason for that is if you have a phone that's not giving you enough gain, this cable should boost the signal a little bit and let you equalize it and mix it in with the rest of your show more easily. So I'm just going to connect this to my phone. Just like before, I have this plugged into the TRRS channel. If I play music, the music's still there, just like normal, but we will make a phone call.
Hello.
Hello, can I speak to my lovely wife?
Yes, is she? How may I help you?
Hi, how are you? How does this sound?
Sounds great.
Does it? I've noticed it's actually a little low on my end. Can you believe that? Oh. So your volume was a little too low here, and I actually need to, on my phone, boost the volume, and now I think you're going to sound clearer.
Got it.
Yes.
Hello?
Oh, that sounds...
Clear.
Yes, that actually does sound a lot clearer. So that was something when you're plugged in with the cable, you got to make sure to adjust the volume right here. So how's your day going? Can you give us a nice sample of audio quality so we can compare these things?
Sure. Right now I am playing Animal Crossing.
Nice.
And Gulliver's on our island. So
course.
I am looking for communicator parts.
Terrific.
And yes, it's almost going to rain on our island.
Great. Well,
And,
I don't want to stop you from that important work, so I will let you get back to it. Thank you for being a part of this show, as always. There's no ending. It's just a phone call. Thank you. I love you.
Love you. Bye-bye.
Bye. So both of these channels almost sound the same. I would say that the Bluetooth channel is not quite as good with the phone calls as the TRRS channel is. It just sort of kind of sounded a little muddier and more compressed, whereas the direct channel was just more clear, sounded like a regular phone call. That makes sense. It's being plugged in. There's no Bluetooth stuff. Both were totally usable, but on the TRRS channel, you do need to make sure to monitor the volume of the phone call on your actual device, because you could be cranking this all the way to the top, but if your phone is set really low, you're still not going to get a great signal. On the Bluetooth channel, it's important to make sure you select the right audio source. Now, what you might notice with both of these channels is when I played music through them, it sounded terrific. It sounded great. It sounded CD quality, but as soon as we switched to a phone call, it was easy to see a decline in the audio quality, and it just sounded like a normal phone call. That may or may not be an issue. If you're just doing like a radio show where people call into the radio show, everybody's very used to that phone call sound, that phone call interview sound. But if you're doing a podcast, an hour-long podcast, and you want to have a guest, it can really be tiresome for your listeners to hear that sound for the whole hour. And it always sounds better if you can find ways to make it sound like both people are in the same room at the same time. And with so many of us working from home lately, I think we've all gotten used to using Zoom and those kind of apps. You could set up a Zoom call and just use an auxiliary cable or this TRS cable, connect it to your computer, and just bring in the audio from your Zoom call. But if you've been on Zoom calls, you know that that audio isn't always reliable or the best quality. If you have the budget, you could sign up for a VoIP, a VoIP, a voice over internet protocol service, which is basically designed to deliver high quality audio over the internet, and that could help you do that as well. But I recently discovered that Anchor has an option for free that really helps. Of course, it's not sponsored, but I did put together an entire video on why I use Anchor to host my podcast. I really like it, and this is just one more thing I literally discovered today that makes that easier. So, same thing. You could set up either via Bluetooth or TRRS. I'm using TRRS because it did deliver a little bit better audio quality. So let's switch over to the Rodecaster right now. All you need to do is open up Anchor on your phone and go into Tools. And there's going to be a button that says Invite Friends to Join. If you tap on that, it's going to say Record with Friends. We should hear, there it is. We got some hold music happening. And basically, it's kind of like a Zoom meeting. This is the waiting room. I really recommend, though, having your phone connected the way that you want it before inviting people to join your call. I have found that if I just have my phone like normal and like I call someone and then they call in and then I try to plug it in or switch, we have trouble hearing each other. So I have this plugged in and ready to go. You can hear the hold music. And then all I need to do is tap on invite friends, and it gives you a bunch of ways. You can just send a link, you can message someone, you can go directly with Anchor friends. I'm just gonna bother Heather again and send her a message. And it's basically a thing that just says, come join my podcast. And they don't need to have the app, they don't need to have anything special. They can just tap on that link and they should pop up into your recording pretty quickly. Let's wait and see. Hello?
Hello.
Oh, you sound so nice. Is this my lovely wife, Heather, again?
It is. Is this my lovely husband?
It is. How are things going over there on our Animal Crossing island?
They're great. I am shopping for new clothes for my character at the moment.
Your voice sounds so clear right now, and it doesn't seem like there's as much of a delay as there was with the phone, because I can still... Heather is just basically on the other side of this blue wall behind me.
I know. Same here. It kind of sounded fuzzy, but I just figured not on this thing, but on the previous one, and I figured that was just the cordless phone. But it's like super crystal clear on here.
Yeah, and you're just on your iPhone, right? Yeah, of course, because I sent it to you. I'm going to try a sound effect again. Hey, Heather, do you know how you prepare for a party in space?
How?
You plan it. Did you hear my sound effect?
I did hear your sound effect.
Yay. And while we're on it, Anchor is also just recording automatically, so it's saving a clip directly to Anchor of this, but I'm recording it into the Rodecaster so I could do my own thing with it later. So your voice sounds really clear. There's like slightly digital like garbliness around it a little bit, but it sounds like 100 times better than a regular phone call. So this is a great option to bring in people as guests. We could listen to this conversation at this quality easily for the length of an episode, I think.
There you go.
There you go. So thanks so much again. I'm sorry to keep bothering you with like 10 phone calls, but
It's okay, babe.
I love you,
No
and I'll see you in a
worries.
minute.
Love you. Bye-bye.
Bye. And then on here, now that she's done, I just hit finish recording, and that's it. I don't use the recording directly in Anchor, so I actually don't even need that. I have everything recorded here. So that was super quick and easy. The Anchor desktop app has a similar version, but it's hard to argue with the simplicity of that right there. Heather didn't need to have anything special. She just needed her phone. I just sent her the link and it was good to go. Now there are two final things that I would like to point out when doing this. The first is there are these two channels, right? Bluetooth or TRRS. You don't necessarily have to make a choice. You could use both at the same time. So you can have your computer or a device plugged into the TRRS channel, and you could have your computer or another device connected via Bluetooth, and you can use the two together. Maybe one is playing music and one is doing an interview, or you have more than one guest. Now with the Anchor Record with Friends feature that I just used, you can have up to 5 people in the call with you. So it might get a little chaotic, but you could bring in 5 guests there and then another guest on Bluetooth, and that's 6 other people in addition to the 4 people that are already potentially on your show here. So that's 10 people on the show. That is insane. I don't think I'd ever want to do that, but it's great to have that flexibility and that versatility. And of course you have the USB channel too, so I guess that even opens up more options because you could connect your computer. There's a lot of options with the Rodecaster Pro. The other thing is, how do you set up phone calls safely to bring in guests to your show? So using Anchor was super easy because I can just text them or email them a link. They tap on the link and we're done. But if we are doing the old school phone call route, you probably don't want to just give out your personal number to everyone. So I really recommend you use something like Google Voice, where you can set up a phone number that will just forward everything directly to your phone. So that way there's nothing at risk if you put that number public or if people get that number, but you don't have to give out your private phone number to everyone just to have them be a guest on your show. Little things like that are very important to think about because that's going to help keep you safe, keep things sustainable, and keep things practical. So being able to bring in phone calls and phone guests is just one of those many problems that the Rodecaster Pro does solve. As I'm sure you know by this point, I have a boatload of videos about the Rodecaster Pro. If you want to learn more about it or basic podcasting stuff from me, check those out, and I will see you over in one of those videos.